Here we are. Over 2 years later, I have finally arrived at this point. Finally, I am here at Mega Man 11, and it feels fantastic. I have had a wild time and so much fun doing this entire classic Mega Man series, but honestly, I'm ready to hop off this ride for a bit. So, how am I ending this experience? With Mega Man 11, of course. A brief micro-history of me and Mega Man 11, if I may. Mega Man 11 blew my entire mind. I was in disbelief. The fact that a new Mega Man got announced was crazy to me. After a very long couple of years with what felt like a worse and worse fate, we got Mega Man 11. My hype was through the roof. So when 11 finally rolled around on launch day, I didn't get it. I had no money. I got it for Christmas for my Switch, and finally, Mega Man 11. A new, fresh, modern, classic Mega Man experience. Did it live up to my inflated expectations? Did Mega Man 11 give me the world and more? Hell yeah it did. I am putting my cards all out on the table right now. Mega Man 11 is an absolute masterpiece of a game in my eyes. Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 11 hold the honor of being two of my favorite 2D platformers. That is nothing to sneeze at. I enjoy 2D platformers, but few do I truly love. I have already covered 9, so we already know why I love it. But what about Mega Man 11? What makes Mega Man 11 so special? Well, it is the evolution and refinement of classic Mega Man in a modern way. Something like Mega Man 10 I enjoyed but didn't love because it is technically an evolution, but not much of one. It felt like classic Mega Man to me. I adore classic Mega Man, but 10 didn't do enough new to make it better than 9. The difference with 11 is that it feels a lot more fresh, not even because of the release gap, but also due to 11's own mechanics and concepts. I can summarize the success of Mega Man 11 in avoiding feeling derivative and instead innovative compared to a lot of other sequels with 2 easy points: 11's new mechanics, and 11's focus on feeling fresh with the themes of levels. Mega Man 11 brings back the old moveset, which gives it a lot more to work with. In 9, I claim the games could work without the slide, and this holds true still, but 11 makes good use of the slide mechanic, causing it to avoid a feeling of being superfluous. 11 also brings its own mechanic to the table, the double gear system. Praise the system, fellas, because it is a masterpiece. I had a great time with it. You can slow down time or become more powerful, or both at once. However, all of them have a limit on how long they can be used, so you are not able to just spam them. This entire mechanic makes my Mega Man brain go, wee, because it made me so much more experimental and brave in this game, yet it never felt like a complete safety net. Also, slowing down time never gets old for me. The gateways opened by this new mechanic are wide and help the game feel fresh and exciting to me. Double gear system doesn't feel half-baked. The game is designed for you to utilize the double gear system, yet it is done in a way where it doesn't feel broken. What about the level themes though? I said those being fresh help set Mega Man 11 apart, and yeah, they sure do. I'm going to take this opportunity to do what I love doing, gushing about Mega Man levels. I am going to break down some of my favorite levels in the entire game. The first stage I want to analyze is the one you will likely start with, Blockman. You start off nice and simple, like things have always been. A side-scrolling horizontal stage with some gaps to get across. We get some small changes, but things ramp up with falling blocks you have to dodge for your jumps, and then a mini-boss. The mini-boss presents your first perfect opportunity to use the double gear system. Speed gear to dodge the boss, and then power gear for the brief moments you can shoot at it. The stage continues to reach our next big set piece, a chase sequence. The chase sequence is extremely brief, but challenges your ability to think fast, and hey, if you need to, you have the speed gear as a safety net. You reach a new area, and wow, isn't this familiar? A horizontal side-scroller where you can do some small platforming while shooting enemies. The difficulty is up here though, as you now have more jumps to make and some of these jumps are wider, plus more difficult enemies. Fight the mini-boss one last time with conveyor belts, and then do the chase sequence with harder obstacles to get through. After all of that is done, one of your last major challenges is a vertical section. Here you'll be utilizing the speed gear for platforming to get onto these falling blocks, and use them as platforms while dodging and taking care of enemies. Some minor screens before you go to face off against Blockman himself. The duel against Blockman starts off pretty basic. He moves around and drops blocks from above. Nothing too crazy and out there. Blockman is about to go down, and then he transforms into a mech which you gotta take down. Once you survive the encounter at the mech, Blockman goes for one last push and throws a huge amount of blocks you'll need to dodge. Blockman is a perfect representation of what makes Mega Man 11's boss fights feel so much more engaging than plenty of the previous games. A lot of Mega Man's boss fights can feel static at times, and while it isn't awful, Mega Man 11 makes these boss fights so much more dynamic. Bosses offer a change in their moveset once low on health as a last resort, but this change builds upon previous ideas and feels in line with their previous moves. Sure, some other Mega Man games have done the same thing, but in the 11 it's really upped. While not every boss is as dynamic or drastic as Blockman, they all keep this feeling. How about a breakdown of another stage? Let's take a peek at Torchman. The level starts with some basic platforming, showing you the enemies before introducing you to this wall of fire you need to run from to survive. It puts urgency on your platforming, and is a sublime opportunity to use the speed gear. You encounter familiar enemies here too, so it feels mostly fair, even if the firewall is an instant death. Afterwards, we see the owl enemies used in a new way, as your source of light. Now you're trying to carefully balance your shots. You could just go off and shoot everything, but then you won't be able to see. Not shooting anything means you'll take massive damage. I won't waste your time by describing everything in detail here. The stage does around what you would expect, gradually introducing new concepts and combining them, but the ending is truly something special. The last chase sequence combines nearly every gimmick you have seen in the stage up to this point, including using a familiar pattern of enemies. It may seem like a brutal gauntlet, but you are well equipped and familiar with these concepts to show your mastery here. Actually, an intriguing debate I saw is about these instant kill sections, such as the chase sequences. Some find these to be unfair and archaic design. Personally, I don't think they're too awful. Mega Man 11 gives you plenty of tools to get past these sections with ease using the speed gear or rush adapters. Plus, even if you die, Mega Man 11 stages are pretty short where it isn't too much of a hassle to get back to where you were. Those are just the regular old Robot Master stages though. How about the Wily Castle stages? These are superb and some of the best in the entire franchise. In some of the older classic Mega Man games I criticized overly long Wily stages, but here in Mega Man 11 it's pretty short. In a way, maybe too short. I kinda wish we got another stage or two, and even I'll admit the criticism of them not being memorable is pretty fair. However, in this case, I prefer to be too brief over dragging it out. The bosses here are excellent. The first one up is... Actually, Yellow Devil isn't that bad. I know it's a certified wacky YouTuber funny to make a joke about Yellow Devil is hard, but as long as you remember to use the speed gear and pack an E-tank or two, you'll be fine. The next boss is also not that much of a pushover, you just boop it a few times and it dies, but the tight arena and large size of the enemy give the encounter a bit of a thrill. Mega Man's level design is at its best when it constantly teaches you and tests you, before moving on to something else, and then hitting you with one last final exam. Everything is moving at a good pace where it doesn't feel dragged down and extended for more playtime to try and reach a certain length. It just flows. While I praise previous Mega Mans for this, none of them nail it quite as hard as 11 does. 1 throws too much at you, 3 can feel overly difficult, 7 has levels that sometimes feel too repetitive, 8 can feel uneven at times, and there's plenty of other examples I can pull up, but you get the point. 11 is the best because it can constantly bring you to these new moments and gimmicks, yet each gimmick doesn't feel wasted. They get the length just right. Another major improvement over the other Mega Man games is the fights against Robot Masters. Like I mentioned with Blockman, each fight is super dynamic now. It's a true evolution to Mega Man, and I could keep blabbing on, but really I think you get the idea if I just show you. Of course, this comparison won't be one-to-one, these are games on different technology in different eras, but just for fun, let's do a comparison of the electric Robot Masters of Mega Man 7, 9, 10, and 11. Mega Man 7's is Cloudman, who can push you off stage using wind and tries to deal damage using electric shocks to the ground. Mega Man 9 has Plugman, who deals electric shocks to the ground while jumping around. Mega Man 10 has Sheepman, who uses electric clouds to try to shock you. Mega Man 11 has FuseMan, who has electric orbs on the ground while he zooms around trying to deal damage by shooting electricity at you. The boss fight with FuseMan keeps a rapid pace while not feeling like a dull repeating pattern. It's manageable yet can also become a frantic scramble. It's excellent. Mega Man 11 constantly feels like this too. The boss fights from 11 may be some of my overall favorites in classic Mega Man and probably the franchise in general. Also, pardon my rudeness, I never introduced our fine lineup of Robot Masters. We have a lovely bunch. Let's take a gander. Welcome back to Pick a Robot Master, the hit classic game show where we talk about Mega Man Robot Masters and see which one you might dine with tonight. Please help, this is our last episode, we're in legal trouble. Anyway, let's pick a Robot Master. We have Blockman, Acid Man, Intact Man, Bounce Man, Fuse Man, Torchman, Tundra Man, and Blast Man. All a very lovely bunch of Robot Masters that Capcom did a good job reinventing some old twists with. We have Impact Man, who uses his body to split apart and do a bit of a drill move for attacks. We have Fuse Man, who uses electricity to match his speed. Then we have Blast Man, whose theme park lineup is certainly a blast. This is a fantastic, sensational lineup. There's not really anyone here who's particularly bad at this point. Capcom nailed it. When you beat up a Robot Master, you get a weapon. A good Robot Master weapon lineup buffs your power without making you overpowered to the point of the game being a breeze. A game like Mega Man 2, for example, gives you weapons that are too powerful, and because of that, it can break the balancing. However, other games such as Mega Man 5 have found the Robot Master weapons to not be the best at times and not super enjoyable to use. So where does Mega Man 11 fall on the quality spectrum? Towards the high end of best. Mega Man 11's Robot Masters all have situational uses where they are 100% meant for a certain type of encounter, but they can be versatile enough to be used throughout the stage. You can even combine them with the power gear for stronger versions. However, these never feel super broken. A lot of these weapon gimmicks also feel fresh and exciting too, such as the area Block Man's does damage to, or how Impact Man's weapons feel kinda like a dash. This freshness extends to level themes too. Torchman has what gives me campsite vibes, Block Man has lots of pyramids, Blast Man is a theme park, Fuse Man is briefly stormy giving an ominous approach, and the level itself is like a factory being explored, and Bounce Man is bright, colorful, and alive going wee. Part of this freshness is owed to the new graphical style. Mega Man 11 throws aside the sprite art styles of old, and while I love the old art styles, 11's expressiveness and colorful cel-shaded look plus the backgrounds blew me away. Mega Man 11 has a cartoony vibe that feels right at home with the franchise, yet it's always able to give itself this feeling and look of being cool. Look at these explosions, for example. These explosions just make you go, damn. Additionally, Capcom added the neat touch of Robot Master weapons being full costumes now instead of just palette swaps. Music is a slight point of contention with this game. Isn't one of the best or just average. The electronic sound makes me groove out here, especially Fuse Man's stage. Take a brief listen to some of these tunes. This soundtrack slaps to an incredibly high degree and is one of my favorites in any video game. It is crazy how good it sounds. Songs keep an energetic tone that fits the action of Mega Man 11. Speaking of the sound, the voice acting. Voice acting is more prominent and we'll get into why in just a second, but how's the quality of it? It's cheesy, but unlike Mega Man 8, it doesn't feel annoying and instead leans into a Saturday morning cartoon vibe. So why is there more prominent voice acting here? Well, Mega Man 11 goes for a larger story than most other classic Mega Mans, yet it keeps the balance of classic Mega Man often being the lightest on story compared to other sub-series. It's a charming plot that can prove to be interesting with the exploration of the relationship of Dr. Light and Dr. Wily, and also comedic. Cutscenes aren't anything too special, but you have cute details like Roland Otto in the background watching in this one cutscene. Just like how I praised Mega Man 9 and 10 for their stories, I'm praising 11. This story doesn't subtract from the identity of classic Mega Man, but instead adds to it. Hey, don't worry though, if you finish that story mode quickly, which you probably will, Mega Man 11 offers plenty of side content for you to go through. My favorite piece of side content was Dr. Light's trial. You go through 30 challenge rooms and try to win. These are really hard because you only get one life. Dr. Light's trial will put up a fair fight against most Mega Man players. One last thing to touch on for this game and then I'm done. The difficulty. Mega Man 9 was my favorite for how hard it challenged me in a fair way, and well, if Mega Man 11 is my favorite, it must be the hardest classic game yet, right? Well, yes and no. Mega Man 11 has a plethora of difficulty modes, which is an extremely welcome and necessary addition. You have easier modes that allow for newcomers to get into the series. Mega Man 10 made a half-hearted attempt, but it almost feels patronizing and condescending like, oh, you aren't big enough for the real big kid Mega Man game, so take this, you stupid baby. Mega Man 11 makes the game easier, but still provides ample opportunity for you to be challenged or have fun. For you Mega Man veterans, don't worry, Mega Man 11 also provides a harder difficulty, Superhero Mode. Considering I've already beaten 11 previously, and I've also played every classic Mega Man, I wanted to challenge myself one last time and, well, Superhero provided that. No health pickups from defeating enemies and levels. At first I definitely felt the heat from this, but eventually I adjusted. However, throughout the game I had a consistent good time and never felt like the game was being unfair to me. I know some may be against this change, but don't be that person. Don't tell people that they aren't playing the right way for the difficulty they pick. Mega Man is for all to enjoy, and lowering the bar of entry is in no way a bad thing. If you want the harder experience, just pick the harder difficulty modes. Change like this is friendly and an excellent modernization of Mega Man to make it more accessible. Even outside of difficulty modes, Capcom made some smart tweaks to the Mega Man formula that may prove to be more welcoming for new players, without degrading the experience for Mega Man veterans. The Dr. Wily stages now allow for you to buy items between stages. If this makes it too easier for you, just don't buy the items. Simple as that. Mega Man 11 is the first moment since the NES that classic Mega Man learned how to be truly itself, yet also become modern. Future games kept throwing new technology in without making it interesting, or were retro throwbacks. They stumbled by trying to add more gimmicks and gameplay variety, but Mega Man 11 decided to be unapologetically classic Mega Man platforming. Neither are bad, but Mega Man 11's modernization is the refresh the franchise needed. This really could be the start of a fresh era for Mega Man. This new team clearly understands the principles of what makes a Mega Man game work. They were able to make a new game that surpasses its predecessors. That was no easy task, and yet they succeeded. Mega Man 11 makes me happy, plain and simple. Mega Man 11 is a genuinely positive game for me. I play it and just have a good time. Plenty of other games just don't have that same charm for me. Other video games may be bigger in scope, but they lack the pure and unfiltered joy of classic Mega Man, and especially 11. I am left wondering though, what is next for Mega Man? Is Mega Man 12 next? Maybe new remakes? Maybe a return to a different sub-series like X or Legends? A new sub-series? Whatever the future is, it's exciting. Getting to be this thrilled about the future of a franchise, especially Mega Man, is refreshing. I know a lot of people are in panic mode right now because it's been 3 years since 11, but honestly, don't worry about Mega Man. The franchise is doing great, it has a bright future ahead. This is a new team, they have to sort out how they want to pick up the pieces of multiple sub-series spanning different genres. The Mega Man brand was split in a lot of ways back in the 90s and 2000s, so it'll take some time before they can do games more often again. I probably will always be a Mega Man fan. I have such an attachment to this franchise. It was there for me early on when I got into gaming, it's here now as I progress. As the years pass, I do find myself slipping away from a lot of my favorite old franchises. Yet here Mega Man is, and well, I love the franchise more than ever. I have spent over the last 2 years of my life constantly thinking about the Mega Man franchise, and specifically classic Mega Man. It is pure luck I chose such a masterpiece of a franchise to cover first. When I started, I didn't think I would take this long. I didn't think classic Mega Man was complex enough to take me over 2 years, yet here I am. And well, I guess it is really time to finish it. I genuinely don't want to finish the classic section of the Mega Man marathon. It's bittersweet, and I thought I was ready to move on from making Mega Man videos, but really? I'm not. I have gone to analyze and learn so much about game design while making these videos, and I even got to collaborate with people and hear other perspectives on a series dear to me. The Mega Man marathon caused me to go toe-to-toe with one of my biggest disappointments ever, and the end result being me changing my perspective and making a video where I discuss that, and then do an ending skit where I date a game and go to its funeral. Fuse, why do you keep making so many Mega Man videos? Because no other series will ever serve for as much of a wide-open creative field for me. When I first picked this franchise, I thought it would be simple, and I could just discuss each game, yet at some point, I changed and pushed myself further. How can I make this Mega Man video fresh and exciting? How can I make people care even though I've already done a ton of Mega Man videos? I had to ask myself this every single time I made a video on Mega Man, and I am so glad I did. Each time I came up with a new solution, whether it was going super in-depth, doing a collab, discussing disappointment and trying to be fair, going back to my own past and reviewing a game dear to me, or a criticism and re-evaluation of my own shortcomings. Was I perfect with it? No, of course not, but I tried and I think I succeeded. The end result, especially from 7 and up, are videos I am extremely happy with to this day. Something like Money Number 9 where I got to do near everything I wanted with little compromise. Thank you to everyone who stuck around for the ride. Whether you are here from the barely audible beginnings, me refreshing my channel, or any other time, thank you. This has been one hell of a journey, hasn't it? In fact, it's even more personal than I could have imagined. I guess there really is one proper way to end this, with the ultimate question, what does Mega Man mean to me? Well, the answer is, a lot. Let's go down a stroll memory lane one last time, why don't we? Smash 4's Mega Man reveal. I went insane. The reveal trailer for Mega Man was nothing like anything I had seen before. It was so cinematic and cool and it just wowed me. And it was Mega Man himself. Look at the Mega Man 2 weapons being used. Every time I rewatch this trailer, the hype and emotions just hit me. How about Mega Man 11's trailer? Same thing. I get so unbelievably excited even though I can literally go play the game right now. It's definitely a little silly and over the top and hey, it's dumb. I'll probably hear jokes about it for the next couple of years, but that's just part of me. One of the greatest attributes of the Mega Man franchise is its ability to be one of the best representations of video games as an art form to me. A major part of what makes Mega Man video games art to me is the experience of playing them and taking on a new role. When I look at painting, it's a nice experience. While I've indeed written about traditional art like paintings before, most don't stick with me for that long. I can listen to music, but most music also doesn't stick with me for super long besides a few albums. What about film? Well, I love films, though I have definitely gone long periods of time without watching any new ones, especially in the pandemic. Every art form holds value to me though. Art helps shape us. For me, the art that helps shape me is video games, which I also see as the peak of art and entertainment for me. The experience of playing Mega Man is something I can't really get elsewhere besides video games. Especially when I was introduced to it while super young, Mega Man was unique. The thrill of overcoming challenges after hours of playtime is superb. It makes you feel fantastic by the end. It's an experience you cannot replicate in other artistic mediums. You spend hours getting better and better until you sharpen your skills enough to fly through the games. On a surface level, it really is simplistic and nothing special, but once you keep learning and improving, you really do feel a fondness for the experience, and because of that, Mega Man is a series that really resonates with me. Mega Man as a whole ended up forming a lot of my taste because of that. I love games that can challenge me and make me keep going. Rarely does classic Mega Man go for super iconic moments, but the memories of playing these games and overcoming their challenges are more iconic than most experiences in any media. When it does go in for those stronger story moments though, those are engraved into my mind, such as Mega Man 2's ending, which might be one of my favorite endings and moments in any video game ever. Perhaps due to all of this, the memories of playing Mega Man 2, all of my other personal stories, it being a creative springboard for my videos, teaching me to keep going and trying again until you succeed no matter how difficult it is and how impossible the odds seem stacked against you, and how Mega Man formed my tastes, that's what makes me such a large Mega Man fan. It really does embody everything I've come to appreciate and admire about video games. There will never, ever be a franchise as special to me as Mega Man. There are only a few other franchises that I truly love, and I guess those can come somewhat close at times, but in the end for me, it's Mega Man. The Mega Man franchise means a lot to me, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. It got me into so many different things. I am proud of how much time I spent playing, writing, and then talking about these games. To a lot of people it's probably dumb, and well, fair enough, it is dumb, but the fun I had along the way proved it worthwhile to me. I adore the Mega Man series, and just getting to talk about it and really dig into it is worth it to me. That's what it's all about, right? That's what YouTube is. My channel is literally me talking about games I love or just want to discuss, so I guess really that makes sense. Of course, a lot of my interest and focus goes towards these Mega Man videos. To me, that's worth something doing. I got to take the Mega Man franchise and put meaning into it for myself. I didn't realize how much I love doing this. In fact, Mega Man really is part of what's always kept me going with YouTube, I guess, at this point. While I enjoy doing what's in between, a lot of the time for me it has come down to just, when can I get down to those classic Mega Man videos? How much can I put in them? How hard can I go with it? Just all of that, trying to create something that lives up to the Mega Man franchise to myself. I think I succeed in that sense. Whatever is next for Mega Man, I will be there day one. And I won't be there on day one just for playing it. I will review it. If it's from an entire sub-series I haven't covered yet, I will literally cover that entire sub-series building up to the new game. I just want to keep talking about Mega Man for as long as I can. If someone offered me the opportunity to start from scratch and do this again one more time, I would take it easily. I am going to miss looking forward to whatever classic Mega Man game I review next. I kept delaying this video, put like all the polish on it I personally could, and really deep down I just straight up did not want this to end. I have a pretty clear plan for where I go next with Mega Man on my channel though. I won't spoil it for now, but I am so excited and thrilled to do it, and the time for it can't come soon enough. This is it though, the true end of the video. I could keep going on and on about how much this franchise means to me and how I don't want to end this video, but it kind of has to come out eventually. I'm literally recording this an hour before it's supposed to go up. Happy 6th anniversary of my channel, and a happy end to Season 1. 50 videos later, here we are. It's not the end of my channel though, of course. Don't think you're that lucky. Instead, it's just the end of an era, and we'll be moving on to a fresh new Season 2 era coming soon. I have some really creative and fun ideas that I can't wait to share with you guys. But for now, I'm Fuse, signing out. See ya.
Hey, I'm here for the party. I even brought a copy of Link's Awakening remake. And look, my girlfriend's here too.
She's not real, bro. And the party's over. You missed it by a little bit. Didn't you just see the credit sequence? That was such a cool credit sequence, dude.
You're a real poopy head, you know that?
I thought we were homies. We reviewed Mega Man 6 together back in February. Don't you remember that? We did this nice introduction. It was really sentimental. I called you my friend.
Fuse, that video was over a year and a half ago. You literally cannot hit a single...
That's all for now. I'm Fuse, signing out. See ya.